Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today? As I take off my headphones once again. Done all my dailies and that sort of thing. We get hype. We get Chaska banner coming tomorrow. Genshin Impact. The others. Don't know what's going on with the others. Let me think. ZZZ. I guess it's changing in 7 days for lighter, but I don't think I actually am going to pull for any of the next upcoming characters. So it's going to be like a free banner break. Oh, I don't do anything. But good evening, everyone. And I'm Fawnhallow. It's 10:52 p.m. on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Oh, today's Amelia's birthday. Happy birthday, Amelia. Star Rail. Nothing's going to be happening in Star Rail for a bit. Not till Fugue comes out. At least for me. But yeah, what I was going to talk about today was actually a very interesting video I saw online, recommended on Reddit. And again, I don't know how true it is. It at least has very much of a presentation of being truthful. The person who's presenting it seems like she knows what she's talking about, but I didn't actually read any of the studies that she talked about. She brought them up. Maybe she could have made them up. I like to give a benefit of doubt that these are legitimate things. But it was the video, I can't remember what another YouTube channel was called, because I've never heard of her before, but it was basically, she said she cured her lactose intolerance by basically forcefully eating an insane amount of lactose every single day for like 2 weeks straight. And when I first saw a video, I was like, this must be like clickbait, and I still clicked on it. So, you know, I guess what does that say about me as a character? But I guess if anything, I was just like, I didn't even realise you could cure lactose intolerance, and like it's a thing which I've definitely heard can get worse over years. In fact, as I understand it, we're all like, no, hold on, I was gonna say we're all a little bit lactose intolerant. I don't know if that's true, but it's something along those lines where when you're a child you're not lactose intolerant, but then people tend to develop it as they get older, and it's certainly a lot more prevalent in some countries than others. For one thing, I knew for sure it's very common in East Asia. Like it's very common for Chinese people to be lactose intolerant. You might be like, are you lactose intolerant? I don't think I am. Maybe a little bit, but not to a degree where it's that bad, I think. But yeah, but there's not many things which have like milk dishes in China, and it's something she brought up as well. How like milk powder was given to these places which didn't have much in the first place, and they ingested it or something. I can't remember. Go watch the video if you want the actual facts, because I do not have them for you. I'm here to talk about what an interesting discovery, I suppose that is. So we're going to give Amelia the oranges we're holding. Be nice if we could wrap them up. Forgot. Well, didn't realise it was Amelia's birthday for one, so... Who's celebrating with her? Vivian, of course, for besties. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, but apparently, what was it? Some places in Africa also have quite high rates of lactose intolerance, which is like, oh, you know, fair enough. I genuinely didn't know that. But yeah, the crux of like the exact details. If you want to try them for yourself, you should go look at a video. Again, I can't remember the exact details off the top of my head, but the general gist is that she basically was like, during lockdown, she was like, oh, you know, she read this paper where it was like there was a study about the fact that the people who historically, it was like, I don't know, America gave a milk powder or something to these places which didn't have much milk, and then like for the first few while when they were eating it, they just had like horrible like side effects because they were lactose intolerant. But then eventually, like after 2 weeks to a month, all those symptoms just disappeared. And the general gist is like, that's a very sort of fascinating thing to discover. When she saw that, fair enough. Like when I heard about it, I was like, wait, why am I here? I haven't done this for like months. When I heard about it, I was like, that sounds fake. But apparently there's some sort of legitimacy to it, or it's all a big hoax. Who knows? Where she was like, I'm gonna try this on myself, and basically she just like ordered milk powder and then made like these really concentrated mixes of lactose, which I made from a milk powder, like almost like a milk slurry, I suppose, if anything. And she basically just like drank a load of that every single day for like 2 weeks. And she said that, as I understand it, the symptoms got crazily worse, obviously, for the first few days because she's lactose intolerant. She couldn't digest it. And apparently she was actually losing quite a lot of water or something, like becoming dehydrated from all of that she was ingesting. And then eventually, by the end of 2 weeks, it was just like, oh, she just didn't have any symptoms anymore for lactose intolerance. She could eat cheese, ice cream, anything which gave problems before, just gone. No longer an issue. Which I was like, that's fascinating, if that's true. And I choose to believe it to be true. Because, I mean, I'm going to be absolutely real. I'm not going to go out and read all the papers she linked and verified if they're repeatable, replicable, etc. I'm just going to kind of take a word for it, like like most people do, and just use that as a conversation sort of topic to chat about. But yeah, genuinely, it's fascinating. And like, apparently it's like a sort of thing where like if you stop eating like lactose for a while, that can like end up giving you a lactose intolerance, or start making you like less able to sort of digest lactose again, which is like crazy, isn't it? Well, at least I think it's crazy. I don't remember where I was going with this, but yeah, that's genuinely insane, I think, to think about. To think that's even possible. That, like, the lack of eating lactose can give you lactose intolerance. Well, not can give you, can sort of... Is more like continuously eating it, I suppose, staves it off. I don't know how true that is. Again, don't fact check me on that. Watch the video, and I was just like, I don't know, because I was thinking about my own sort of like ingestion of cheese and that sort of thing. When I was a baby, actually, apparently I was like sort of lactose intolerant. Like I had reactions to like cow's milk or something. Like I would break out in a rash or something. But then, like as I got older, like it's something which stopped happening. Which maybe it was because that's that sort of thing. I ingested so much lactose that eventually, like my body was just like, all right, we're just gonna adapt to this, which is insane. But like when I was younger, I used to eat like a lot of cheese. Like it was like a known thing that whenever I'd have like spaghetti or pasta, I would have like a mountain of cheese essentially on top of it. Also, I guess when you're kind of growing, you eat a lot of food, and my favourite meal is like spaghetti. Like it's almost scary to think about how much spaghetti and pasta I used to eat in this like big old whatchamacallit. It's almost like a baking dish or something, which it must have been like 3 to 4 times. Maybe not 3 to 4 times, that's a bit much, but like 3 times, like 2 to 3 times the daily recommended amount of pasta, which is insane. But you know, teenagers just devour things. Anyway, I used to have a lot of cheese about, and honestly, I had like no issues whatsoever with cheese. But you know, as I'm like getting older, I'm like, oh, I wonder if I'm starting to develop a lactose intolerance to it, because certainly I can't eat like a whole. I mean, not many people could really eat like a kilogram of cheese, I suppose, and get away with it, but it's the sort of thing where I was just like, okay, you know, now, sorry, I'm moving around because I'm just like trying to readjust my sleeping gown, or dressing gown, nightgown, bathing gown. I never remember which one is which. Anyway, not the point. But yeah, so, you know, now I start to have, like, more alternatives. Like, I'll have lactose-free milk, but I'll still eat cheese on a pretty regular basis. And, like, I would still, like, make things with milk, just, like, drink tea with milk. But it's sort of like, I guess milk and butter have sort of been replaced with lactose-free variants, but cheese, I still just have a lactose version. And do I think I'm more lactose intolerant than I was when I was younger? Yeah. Not as much as, I guess, baby me was, but certainly feels like I'm more so than before. But maybe I'm going wrong direction a bit. Maybe it's like I need to start eating more and more cheese. I need to get over that mountain, and then it'll become a molehill. I don't know, I said that so weirdly. Molehill. And if anything, the thing that makes me sort of wonder about it the most is because I think I brought this up before. I can't remember what show it was, but I watched a show where it was basically like these professional healthy athletes were given like a meal challenge to stick with for, I can't remember, like 2 weeks or a month or something. And I remember like the first episode, I didn't, like, maybe I watched it or something, but like it was like chocolate or something. It was like the celebrity had to eat like a kilogram of chocolate or something every day. I can't remember. It was some insanely high amount. And they would just like monitor like what the effects were, and what would happen. And the episode I remember I actually watched to the end. I can't remember who it was, like what athlete it was, but I remember what he had to do was, for some reason my mind is Ashley Cole. I don't actually think that's true though. Let me look at an Ashley Cole pic. No, I don't think it was Ashley Cole. Let's see, hold on. British TV show, athlete eats cheese for a month. Man eats only cheese for 28 years. No, I don't know what it is. I feel like I must have made up this TV series or something. Like, where on earth did it come from? Where's I going with this? Oh yeah, he had to eat some huge amount of cheese or something throughout the day. So basically, like, I remember he would snack on like cheese sticks to like fulfill the cheese quota. There's one time he went to like a pizza restaurant and got like a custom pizza which had like 2 inches or something of cheese on it. It was insane. And obviously he got like irritated. That was like, he got like horrible cramps and digestion issues which pervaded him throughout the entire show. But again, I feel like the show's runtime was only for 2 weeks. Maybe it's possible that by the end he got to it and it was just like, oh, it's fine. But also, I think there's probably a difference between lactose intolerance and indulging a ridiculous amount on cheese, right? Because I don't think he was lactose intolerant. Mind you, maybe he would have died or something from eating that much cheese. But certainly, even if you are lactose tolerant, I don't think you could eat that much cheese and sort of get away with it scot-free, right? Your actions have consequences, something. But yeah, I do wonder. I was like, maybe he was just on the precipice for breaking through to just being like completely fine with that amount of cheese eating. In which case, you know, he really missed out. He basically did all the worst parts of it and then never got to a good part where he got the cheese immunity is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Right? Like, he could have, but he just never got to. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a video. Honestly, I should send it into the server because we have a few people who are like lactose intolerant. And by a few people, I really only pictured one person, and then another friend who loves cheese who's like, oh no, maybe I'm becoming lactose intolerant. The solution: just eat a load more lactose. It's basically like shooting the moon. I think one of the comments I saw on the YouTube video was the funniest description of it. Well, I thought it was the funniest description, where it's basically like, oh, so it turns out lactose intolerance is literally a skill issue. And I was like, that's like obviously not true, but it's probably one of the funniest ways you could have put it. But yeah, it's the sort of thing where it's like, wow, I can't believe it. It sounds like a myth, doesn't it? It sounds like the sort of random thing you'd hear, and it'd be like, oh, you know, you can get rid of like any allergy just by eating more of your allergy. You know, like some playground rumor you'd hear that would make no sense, and people would be like, what the heck are you talking about? But you'd still try it, and then your parents would be like, what the heck are you doing? Why are you eating peanuts as you have like a allergic reaction to it or something? I don't really remember what I was going to say following with that, but it's just sort of thing where it's like, I cannot, there's no way, like, and obviously she did it, and you know, we'll give her the benefit of doubt that she actually did do it. She didn't just make up this and all the studies or whatever. It'd be a lot to like make up these studies, like put your life, your reputation on the line. To be like, oh yeah, these studies exist, and then it just takes one person to look at it and be like, hey, these studies are like not real, and then they'll just be like, peace, I'm out. It seems a bit pointless. or like a lot of effort for. Really, it's not much gain. I guess a gain would be that out there some people would try it. Maybe I'm gonna be real. I don't think many people even would try it. This sounds like a very I don't know. It's a tiny bit of suffering to get the benefit of being able to eat lactose for the rest of your life. Is that worth it? I don't know. If you have 2 weeks where you can spare just horrible digestion issues or something, then go for it, I suppose. And apparently, it also might not even work for everyone, so you might just do it and it might just be completely moot and pointless as you'll find out, oh yeah, my body doesn't react in that way to get the whatever you need to be able to digest lactose. I don't remember. Lactase, I guess. Yeah. So I guess the long and short of it is, if you are lactose intolerant, skill issue. Eat more lactose. Get that lactase and be actually able to digest it in the end. Asterisk, don't take me for my word. Please read the study and obviously don't do that if that doesn't sound particularly appealing to you. Because nowadays I feel like there's a lot of lactose alternatives, which feel alright. The interesting thing is, I wonder if there are any other allergies it applies to. Because I feel like the allergic reactions that you get, or at least my understanding of allergic reactions from things like nuts and peanuts versus, like milk is a bit different. At least from the people who I've known who have been allergic to both. I guess, yeah, because lactose intolerance causes digestion issues, if I know of. Well, maybe that's because there's a different type of anaphylactic reaction or whatever. But other people who've been allergic to nuts that I know have just had this sort of thing where it would swell up, right? So if they ate it, it would actually probably kill them. So not a good idea. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of the thought process was behind this, but I don't know, go eat some lactose. See how that goes for you. Anyway, on that note, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.